All right, guys, I want to talk about the Kyrie Irving situation. Opposing player has 47 points, puts up a three at the end, trying to get to 50 when they're up by, I don't know, 8 points or something. Game's locked up. Meaningless basket if he gets it. I don't even know who took the shot. I don't even know if he made the shot. All that there is to talk about is Kyrie taking the ball, throwing it into the stands, and saying that he shouldn't have taken the shot because of blah, blah, blah. He called it petty. He called it immature. Trying to get a personal feat and all that. It's just kind of funny he's calling it petty and immature. Meanwhile, he's the one taking the basketball and throwing it into the stands. $25,000 fine, big deal. I mean, the question is obviously not the ball thrown into the stands. It's like, is he, right, quote unquote, right in any way about the guy should not have taken the shot? Just let it be. The game's over. Don't rub it in, blah, blah, blah. And, it's Kyrie kind of answered his own question. Like, well, I guess he wasn't asking a question, but he's talking about the guy trying to get a personal record. And that specifically he's calling immature. It's like, he's already identified why the guy is taking the shot in the first place. It's like he's not doing it to show you guys up. It's like he wants to get to 50 points. It's like, something? I mean, it's nice to see an athlete try and get more points and do those things. I mean, for all the times you see them don't hustle, hey, at least he's hustling now. Yeah, the game's over, but like it's nice to see them hustle in any situation. It's nice to see an athlete hustle. An athlete, yeah. You know what? No wonder I said that by accident. It's a perfect word. There's a lot of athletes out there, and they don't hustle. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But when the athletes work hard, it's like I mean, I don't think there's anything unprofessional about doing that. If he's doing it to be a jerk, if he's doing it to be a dick, then it's like, yeah, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing, man? But like, this idea that Kyrie is like calling what he's doing all unprofessional, and then he says the ball deserved to be in the stands. I mean, it's like unprofessional. I mean, if you're an adult and you have a kid, like what would you rather see? A guy try to get to 50 points with the last second left in the game? Or throw the ball into the stands when you're upset. It comes up in sports a fair amount. Like, where do you draw the line between rubbing it in? Like, Bill Belichick never stops. And during the playoffs, the Red Sox-Yankees, when the Red Sox crushed the Yankees 16-1, like, I think it was like 10-0 or something in the fifth inning, and it was maybe Benintendi tried to steal second base, and Ron Darling announcing, and I love Ron Darling, announces for the Mets, but first he kind of like, says, all right, I guess he can't have enough, like stealing a base up 10 runs in the fifth inning, and then I think it was Benintendi again, who swings at a 3-0 pitch in the seventh inning or something, and Darling, and the score was probably even bigger gap by then, and Darling brings it up again and is basically criticizing him for pouring it on. I mean, it's the playoffs, for crying out loud. In that stadium with that joke of a right field porch and they hitting all those home runs, it's like, I don't even want the Yankees letting the fans think that they can get back in this game. It's like, if you're not going to pour it on, when are you going to pour it on? It's just, look, I hate when athletes start talking about this, like being like sore losers, basically, because they think they're being bad winners. It's like, they're just doing their job. Like, the game's not over. It's just like, where do you draw the line? I don't know. I mean, not swinging at 3-0 in a playoff game. It's like, your job is play baseball, okay? And their job is they play baseball. Don't worry about what they're doing. It's not worth thinking about as an athlete. It's just, even if they rub it in on purpose, even if they do it to be an asshole, it's like, so what? Who cares? It doesn't change the job that you have. A few years ago, Pete Rose was doing a signing, And I went in there, I bought his book, and I got his autograph and talked to him for a couple minutes. And he was telling me and my brother a story about how I guess the Reds, he was up 17-0, and he hit a double, and the other team got mad at him for sliding into second base, said he was showing them up. Now, with Pete Rose, with a reputation for not telling the truth, I mean, I kind of just looked between the lines in that story. I was just thinking, Pete, they weren't mad at you for sliding into second base. Why would they be mad at you for sliding into second base? It's like there was no play at second base. That probably should have been, I'm guaranteed that was supposed to be a stand-up double, and he just flops through the air anyway. Because that's what Pete Rose did. He just wanted to throw his body around. But, as unprofessional as, even if you think it's the most unprofessional thing in the world, to try and get to 50 points at the last second, steal second base up 10 runs, swing 3-0, even in a playoff game, it's like, you don't have to get upset as the opposing team. It's like, it's just not worth it. It's stupid when they get into a fight, especially the baseball fights. Everybody comes running out of the dugout and like nothing really happens most of the time. Everybody shows up though. Everybody runs in. And I get that like once it starts, you can't really be that guy who doesn't run out for your team. All right. But the fights in baseball are starting to get a little bit more rough. Like we're starting to see some real punches be thrown. Like it's just egos are taking over sports, and I guess who knows, maybe they've taken over for a long time, but now it's becoming about like who can get the most attention for the end zone celebration. It's like someone on the Saints the other day, I don't know any of their names. I don't care to know these people's names. I just see them taking the phone after a touchdown like Joe Horn back in the day. How many baseball players are just every week there's somebody hitting a ball that doesn't even leave the park, not even a home run, off the wall, and they're just strutting out of first base. Like it's like taking a couple of steps. Like they're not even like a third of the way to first base by the time the ball they see is not going out for a home run. I mean, it's incredible. Even if the ball goes over the fence by like 1 foot, it's so gross. It's so uninteresting to watch. It's not appealing to the eye. What's appealing to the eye is see an athlete hit a ball and bust his ass to first base. As a spectator, that's what excites me. Not who can hot dog the most out of the box. I mean, even back in the day, if a ball was 20 rows deep, completely bombed, they're still like, getting a good start out of the box. Like, they're not running like their hardest, but they're moving. They've turned into reptiles, baseball players, when they hit a ball that they think is going out of the park. They do that even if they think the ball is going out of the park by any amount. They hit it and they just stand there and watch. They do it on balls just hit to the outfield. They're like, oh, this looks interesting. Run, you idiot. Hey. So, Kyrie, I mean, hey, whatever, man. Like, are you trying to tell me back in the day where first time you were putting up a ton of points, it wasn't exciting you? I mean, look, hey, maybe it wasn't. Give the guy a break.